Okay, what if your emotions weren't random? What if every feeling was actually a frequency and that frequency was shaping reality in real time? That's what we're going to talk about today on Walking the Path. Welcome. Welcome to Walking the Path. I'm so grateful to be walking the path with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just returned to Costa Rica and to Rythmia, and I'm so grateful for the last 8 years, um, to have the honor of walking with people on this path. Hi, Susan. Thank you so much. Um, I'm reminded again and again and again of the deepest transformations that I've seen don't come from thinking. They come from tuning, from aligning. And that's a feeling, that's a vibration, that's a frequency, and that's in alignment with the truth. So that's what happens every week at Rhythmia. And I want to share with you a little bit about what's happening at Rhythmia every week. And then I want to talk to you more about frequency and vibration and how these shape our lives. So let's see. I'm just landing. Okay. So I'm back and I'm so grateful to be here. So everything is frequency. This is the idea of today's talk. Hey, Meg, I love you. Um, Everything is frequency. And science shows us this. If we talk about Einstein, Einstein's E equals mc squared shows us that energy equals matter. I don't know anything about the math that got us to E equals mc squared. Know nothing about that, but I know E means energy and M means mass or matter, and they're on opposite sides of an equal sign. So energy slowed down becomes matter, and energy sped up, or matter sped up, becomes energy. That matter and energy are interchangeable. And everything we see and touch is energy and vibration, and they're vibrating at a particular frequency. That's Einstein. Max Planck was another fundamental person and the father of quantum theory. And he introduced the idea that energy is not continuous, but comes in these discrete packets or quanta. And these packets behave like vibrations or waves rather than like static objects. And this brought us to the understanding that at the smallest level, particles aren't really particles. They're waves of potential. This is so cool, right? That in quantum mechanics, particles like electrons and photons exhibit both wave and particle properties depending on how they're observed. This wave nature is characterized by frequency. So everything is frequency and vibration. It's measurable. And this is what's so cool to me about quantum physics. So from the quantum view, solid objects aren't solid. They're vibrating energy. Our body is a field of vibrating atoms, and our thoughts and emotions are energetic impulses that carry measurable frequencies, like something being studied more deeply now in neurocardiology and heart-brain coherence, is that our emotions are energetic impulses that carry measurable frequencies. And this is what I love about quantum physics, is that it's catching up to what the sages and the spiritual teachers of all time have been telling us, that like from the Om in Hindu, in Hindu culture, to the word in Genesis. In the beginning, there was the word. These are all now how science is confirming what the mystics have intuitively known for centuries, that the world isn't made up of things, but of vibrations and frequencies and fields. So our emotions are measurable frequencies. The Heart Math Institute is showing through research on coherence that our emotions are measurable, that they can measure the electromagnetic frequency of the heart. And when we're feeling love or gratitude or joy, that electromagnetic field, the toric field, actually expands. And when we're feeling shame or guilt or fear, that lower frequency, it contracts. So our emotions are frequencies. Hey, brother. Hey, Keo. Hello, everybody. So great that you're here. Thank you for joining. So we're constantly broadcasting a signal. And the universe is constantly broadcasting a signal, and we're constantly broadcasting a signal. And the universe responds not to what we say or what we want, but to our vibration. This is the key, that we don't attract what we want, we attract what we're in resonance with. It reminds me of the tuning fork, right? The tuning fork principle is like if you strike a tuning fork and you bring it near another tuning fork that's at the same frequency, that second tuning fork begins to vibrate. That's what we call resonance. And the principle of a tuning fork works exactly the same with emotions and relations. So our emotional tone sets the tone for what enters our field. So what are we in resonance with? What we're in resonance with finds us. This is the meaning of what you are seeking is seeking you. This is the law of resonance, the law of radiation. So what we're in resonance with finds us, whether it's people or patterns or possibilities. So the tuning fork principle comes from acoustics, right? But it's not just a musical phenomena, it's a law of nature. And it applies to sound, it applies to electromagnetic waves, it applies to thoughts and emotions, to people and relationships. It is all about resonance. So our emotional state becomes our broadcast. Our emotional state becomes a signal that we're it's like striking an inner tuning fork. And when we're vibrating at the same frequency, whatever is vibrating at the same frequency as we are in the quantum field resonates with us, whether we're conscious of it or not. So I had to ask myself, am I holding resentment or fear? If I am, I may begin to attract circumstances and people that are validating that feeling. But if I'm shifting into gratitude and joy, my field changes and the experiences that match that higher frequency, that higher coherence begin to show up. So it's not about like blaming myself or blaming a victim. It's about recognizing that we're participating, right, with the reality at this level of vibration. This is so cool. We're participating with reality at the level of vibration. So every time we focus on a thought or dwell in an emotion or repeat a story, we're striking an emotional chord. We're striking a vibrational tuning fork. So a great question to ask this week, it's a question I've been asking myself, is what note do I keep playing in my thoughts? What emotional climate am I living in? And what keeps showing up in my life? If it's showing up in my life, it might be my frequency that I'm broadcasting that aligns with that. So this is actually the beginning of spiritual responsibility, not controlling everything, but becoming aware of what you're resonating with and how it shapes what you call in. This is actually the basis of mindfulness, right? So what does resonance look like in real life? If you think of someone and they text you, that's coherence. If you walk into a room and you feel the vibe, right? That's being sensitive to the field. And when you meet someone and you instantly feel connected and there's like a rapport, or you're instantly repelled, that's a frequency of interaction. And this isn't mysticism, it's energetic congruence. So everything has a tone, everything has a frequency, everything is vibrating, including me and including you. So the core takeaway for me on this is that we're not attracting from our surface mind, but we're attracting from the depth of our vibration. But the beautiful thing is we can retune, we can reset, we can choose what tone we want to carry through intention, through breath, through movement, through awareness. So again, asking myself, what emotional frequency am I emitting on a regular basis? And what pattern keeps showing up that might be a reflection of my inner vibration? This is really important. If a repeated pattern starts to show up, it's not like oh, the universe is punishing me. It's like, oh, what note am I consistently striking? Right? Because if we're noticing a consistent pattern showing up and we don't like it, then the question is, how can I raise my vibration? And the way we raise our vibration is through a new experience, because most of the stories that we tell ourselves came from an earlier experience. So if I want to change my vibration, I have to change my experience, which creates a new vibration. And we can do that through wonderful technologies like breath work and meditation and gratitude practices and sound like mantras, music, toning, sound baths, movement, being in nature. And it's not like spiritual bypass, right? Like if I want to change my frequency, it's not spiritual bypass, it's actually like energetic hygiene, right? I want to keep my energetic hygiene clean. And from the quantum level, the field is responsive. And so when I become a tuning fork, I choose what I want to broadcast. And so I love this. Healing isn't about controlling outcomes. This is so important. It's not, that's why, this is why it's not spiritual bypass. Healing isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about becoming a resonant match for the truth. So, we often approach things like kind of with an agenda, right? Like, I want this pain to go away, or I want this relationship to be fixed, or I want my circumstance to change. This is natural. But when we get overly focused on controlling an outcome, we stay locked in resistance. It's like we're trying to force the quantum field to reflect something before we've actually tuned ourselves in to our deeper truth. So, true healing from this point isn't about getting things to go my way. It's about aligning with the frequency of wholeness, of love, and authenticity. This is not bypass. So, like in quantum physics, it's not the observer's demand that creates the change, it's the observer's state of consciousness. And when our internal state shifts, that's when the field responds. So we don't heal by wishing, we heal by becoming coherent with our essence, our soul's truth. So I'm going to get into this in a moment, because I feel like this is super important. Coherence doesn't guarantee a specific result. It does guarantee a change in the way we experience life, because it's aligning with what's true in us. What's true is always healing. Truth is the healer. And the emotional application here is like, let's say you're carrying a wound of betrayal and you want the person who hurt you to apologize and you want closure. I have this experience, right? This is something I'm working with right now. So I can't control the other person's behavior, but my healing around that circumstance will come when I align with the truth that I'm still whole, no matter what. And to acknowledge that I'm hurt, but without identifying with it, right? I don't want to identify with the hurt. I just want to acknowledge I'm feeling hurt. And then I can choose to vibrate at the level of forgiveness or of compassion or of peace, not because someone earned it, but because it's my truth to live in freedom. So it's important that I remember I'm whole. It's important that I acknowledge what I'm feeling without identifying it. And then I can choose another vibrational frequency that's in alignment with the truth that I want to live in freedom. So that's actually being in resonance with truth. And that's not spiritual bypass. So here's the question. If you're carrying a wound of betrayal, if you're carrying a hurt, if you're carrying something with someone else, then what truth are you ready to become a vibrational match for? Is it for safety? Is it for freedom? Is it to live without conditions, or to love without conditions, right? To live freely or to love freely? Is it worthiness? What is the vibrational frequency that I want to come into alignment with? And let that be the tuning fork, not the outcome that we're trying to engineer, but that I am coming into alignment with that frequency. Reverend Michael frequently talks about the fact that we must have in consciousness first that which we wish to experience in life. So I have to become in consciousness. Remember, it's not the I love this. Tommy goes, break old agreements. Yes, I'm breaking my resonance with an old agreement. I'm creating a new one. So let's let that, okay, I just lost it. Hold on. Remember, it's not the observer's actions that change things in quantum physics. It's the state of consciousness. We must become first in consciousness that which we wish to experience in reality. So I really love this idea of emotional honesty, that living in resonance is actually being spiritually mature. Emotional honesty is a key. It's like a important principle. Emotional honesty does not mean that I'm feeling good all the time. It means that I'm aligned. Resonance doesn't mean I feel good all the time. It means I'm aligned. So in the world of spirituality and in the quantum world, it's often a misconception that high vibration equals feeling happy or peaceful or blissful all the time. But resonance isn't about a mood. It's about truth. So I can be in resonance while grieving. I can be in resonance while being afraid or angry or disappointed. If I'm being honest about what I feel, I'm not abandoning if I'm honest about what I feel and don't abandon myself in the process, then I'm in emotional alignment. I'm in resonance. So resonance is not a performance, right? Like, oh, I'm going to just fake it till I make it. But to be in resonance is to be in energetic alignment with what's real inside of me. It means I'm not pretending. It means I'm not pushing stuff down. It means I'm not bypassing. It means that I'm tuned into my actual emotional state with compassion and presence. Remember, not getting caught in it, but acknowledging it, not identifying with it, but acknowledging it, right? The honesty is the key. Truth is the key. Truth is the healer. Honesty becomes the doorway to transformation. And that means that suppressed emotions create incoherence in our energetic field. So if I'm suppressing, like, okay, I just got to feel good, I'm suppressing the emotion. That's creating incoherence. But when I bring my presence, when I bring my mindfulness, when I bring my honesty without shame, like I'm whole and I'm feeling hurt by this, and that's okay. Even if I'm not supposed to, even if it's not spiritual, like I should be over this, but I'm feeling it. So feel it, live it, right? That's the key, is without shame, like to be honest. And then I can bring myself into a field, into greater coherence, even if it's uncomfortable. So resonance is the result of radical honesty, not rigid positivity. Radical honesty, not rigid positivity. It doesn't mean that I'm happy all the time. It doesn't mean that I'm in bliss all the time. It means that I'm honest about what I'm feeling, but I'm not getting caught in it. That's the key. And really, ultimately, our nervous system knows the difference. The body keeps the score. A great book by Bessel van der Kolk. He says, if you're pretending to be fine when you're not, your nervous system will stay dysregulated. Even if my like spiritual mouth is saying affirmations, but my emotional body is not in alignment, that's dysregulation. Resonance is when the body and my emotions and my awareness are not in contradiction. They're in agreement. Even if it means I'm upset, even if it means I'm in pain, even if it means I'm holding a sense of betrayal. Be honest. I have to be honest, but not get caught in it. So think of someone like who's grieving. Like we want to allow that person to feel fully the sadness and the ache and the tears without resisting, without numbing, without dramatizing, just sitting with it in truth and presence. That is deep resonance. And when I'm doing that, I'm vibrating in honesty, and therefore I'm in alignment, even if what I feel is tender or painful. So take this into our own spiritual practice. What am I truly feeling right now? Am I making space for the emotion, or am I trying to escape it? So that's a great question. So if you're feeling something, ask, what am I truly feeling? And then place your hand on your heart and say, this feeling is allowed. This feeling is allowed. I don't have to fix it. I only need to be with it. This is resonance. This is alignment. And then from that space, actual healing happens. So the more I can clean my internal field with honesty, the more precise my frequency becomes. And this is how we co-create, by becoming clear instruments of love and truth and presence. My soul has a frequency. Your soul has a frequency. Are we in tune with it? This is the resonance and intonation are all key. So this week, I want to invite you to notice your thoughts, the vibration of your feelings, and the resonance of your relationships, and ask yourself, what am I tuning into? And what's tuning to me? I really love this as I was thinking about this and working on this topic, because it deals with so-called emotional bypass, and it deals with how to be honest with our feelings and not stuff them down or numb them, but also not to get caught in them. And the remembrance that it's okay to feel just what I'm feeling. If I'm honest with it, but not caught in it, that's actually where healing, where that emotional honesty is actually the healing balm. Okay, so I have one more talk on this. Next week, we're going to dive into non-locality and the interconnected web of consciousness, and how intuition and synchronicity and entanglement are not just mystical concepts, but grounded in quantum realities. So we're going to explore that next week. I'm super grateful you tuned in this week. You tuned in. We tuned in together. We're in resonance together. Thank you so much. Wishing you many, many blessings and peace and compassion and lots of resonance. See you next week. Blessings. Thank you.